Coming up on Mountain News this morning, Vice President Kamala Harris spent the weekend vetting candidates for her VP pick as the election draws near. Plus, one program at a community and technical college is celebrating its 20th anniversary this October.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning, I'm Madison Carmouche. We're coming up on 6 a.m. this Monday morning, and as meteorologist Tim Drawbridge likes to say, let's pedal on the metal because it's a little foggy out there. How about it, Tim?
What, you can't be doing like this today, huh? Yeah, all right. Got a lot of fog across the Commonwealth this morning, so yes, pedal off the metal for sure. Hey, temperature-wise, it's not bad outside our door right now, 63, and a visibility in a lot of spots is not the primo, meaning 10-mile visibility at Lexington, Pikeville, Wise, and Jackson. That's it. So you will run into some banks of dense fog that will end up rapidly dropping in terms of visibility, so lower speed means you'll be able to react quicker. All right, 70 at Jackson, it's 70 in Moorhead and Ashland, 72 still at Monticello, but we're doing 69 right now at Harlan. Good morning, Irvin. You're sitting at 66. High pressure right on top of us, lack of wind, lack of cloud cover, helping to enable the fog to develop this morning. This system will affect a few of us as we head through the second half of tomorrow. In the meantime, for today, the fog burns off to a nice amount of sunshine and a high later today to 91. More about your ARH First Alert 70 forecast in the 6 o'clock hour. Madison?
All right, Tim, thank you. The moment the nation learns who Vice President Kamala Harris is choosing for the other half of the Democratic ticket in November is fast approaching. Whoever the VP pick turns out to be will get off to a running start as the new ticket visits the major battleground states in the days ahead. CBS News correspondent Jared Hill reports from New York.
Vice President Kamala Harris faces a Tuesday deadline to pick her running mate. Harris met with prospects over the weekend, including Arizona Senator Mark Kelly, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz, and Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro.
It's a perfect match because he can get the votes in Pennsylvania. Shapiro can get all the votes in Pennsylvania, and we can go ahead and win it.
United Auto Workers President Shawn Fain said on CBS Face the Nation that he hopes Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear is the VP pick.
I just believe he brings a huge dynamic, and I believe a Harris and Beshear ticket would be unbeatable.
Once Harris reveals her choice, the newly minted ticket will set out on a 7-state battleground tour, starting in Pennsylvania, then heading to Wisconsin, Michigan, North Carolina, Georgia, Arizona, and Nevada. A new CBS News poll shows the percentage of Democrats who say they'll definitely vote has now risen to its highest point this year, with Harris improving enthusiasm among black voters and young voters, data points that have tightened the race. Republican Senator Tom Cotton of Arkansas says Harris has yet to be tested on the campaign trail.
I think we always knew this campaign was going to be a close race. But remember, she's only been the nominee for 2 weeks now. She hasn't answered a single question, not one single question by the media.
The CBS poll also shows more voters believe former President Trump's policies would decrease crossings at the U.S. southern border, as immigration remains a top issue for Republicans. Jared Hill, CBS News, New York.
Kamala Harris has a 1-point edge nationally in the CBS poll, which stands in stark contrast to President Biden's numbers. He was down 5 points nationally when he exited the race. Picking a running mate is not just about picking who you get along with best. Although getting along certainly helps, political science experts say campaign advisors typically try to find someone who can tap into a different demographic, whether it be racial, gender-based, or geography. But all candidates will also go through a rigorous vetting process.
You know that when you get Trump and Harris and Biden, these kind of fighters in a race, anything that could be dug up is going to be dug up. You want to dig it up first. If I can be blunt, I think Trump picked J.D. Vance, who again is a very conservative, Caucasian, Ivy educated, Midwestern to East Coast male, although he has some roots here, because he thought he was going to have an easy way.
Dr. Wilfred Riley of Kentucky State University says the vetting process includes digging up any potential points of controversy, including any prior legal issues, allegations of misconduct, or viewpoints that would be damaging to a campaign run. Georgia Governor Brian Kemp is not mincing any words when it comes to former President Donald Trump. Former President Trump attacked the Republican governor during the Saturday rally and in post he made earlier in the day on his Truth Social account. Kemp responded to Trump and said he is focused on winning in November and is not engaging in personal insults or attacking fellow Republicans. He told Trump to do the same and then added, quote, "Leave my family out of it." The Coca-Cola Company now owes $6 billion to the Internal Revenue Service in back taxes. The U.S. tax court made the ruling on Friday. That amount stems from an ongoing dispute since 2015 with the IRS. The beverage company received a letter saying it owed $2.7 billion for the 2007 through 2009 tax years. The company was accused of avoiding federal taxes by shifting too much of its profits to overseas subsidiaries. With interest since the start of the case, the expected payment now stands at an estimated $6 billion. The University Center of the Mountains at Hazard Community and Technical College is turning 20 this year. To commemorate the milestone, the program will host a celebration in October. The UCM will invite select high school students and give them a chance to talk to UCM partner universities. Students can earn anything from a certificate to a doctoral degree through one of the 10 partner universities through the UCM on the HCTC campus.
So that we can celebrate the past, the present, and the future of the University Center of the Mountains and the opportunities that we're looking to really expand upon and reinvigorate as we move forward. So it's going to be a fun, beautiful day.
Duff became the newest director of the UCM in early July. She says inspiring the next class of UCM participants is what will help the program continue creating opportunities.
Good Monday morning to you. Hope you had a great weekend. It's 70 at Jackson right now, 63 outside our door here in Hazard, 69 Harlan, and good morning to you at Prestonsburg. You're at 68. It's an elevator composite. High pressure is right on top of us. Going to be a beautiful day for a Monday. Beautiful in terms of typical August weather. This system is dropping in from the north and west over the next 36 hours, and as it does so, it'll bring some cloud cover issues as we hit through tomorrow and the risk of a shower or thunder shower the further north you go. In the meantime, for today, a little slower on the drive around eastern and southern Kentucky this morning. The fog burns off to a lot of sunshine and we'll get up to a high of 91. More about your ARH First Alert 7-day forecast in a few moments. In the meantime, the big question for us later in the week, Madison, does some of the moisture from Debbie get this way? And oh yeah, by the way, as I hand it back off to you, Debbie is about to make the landfall, its landfall in the Big Bend area of northwestern Florida. Madison?
All right, Tim, thank you. And overnight, Tropical Storm Debbie developed into a Category 1 storm. This weekend, winds, heavy rain, and flash flooding had already begun to hit the state. CBS's Jared Hill has the latest from New York.
Hurricane Debbie barreling toward Florida's Big Bend with winds up to 75 miles per hour.
Doc, everything is fully under.
A preview Sunday as the storm is forecasted to bring 6, 12, even 18 inches of rain to Florida's western coast.
There may be immediate impacts that you see, but you could also see flooding that happens days afterwards, after the storm passes.
Off the small island town of Boca Grande near Fort Myers, a dramatic open water rescue. Coast Guard crews saving 2 boaters whose boat lost its sail in choppy waters. On land, Floridians are already dealing with the impacts. Flash flooding in Clearwater left this apartment parking lot submerged.
It's a little concerning when we're seeing all this water.
Tens of thousands of people are also without power. That number expected to grow. Jared Hill, CBS News.
Forecasters say Hurricane Debbie will slow significantly once it makes landfall, leading to potentially historic rainfall in parts of South Carolina and Georgia later this week. Thanks for joining us on Mountain News this morning. More news is on the way. Still to come, a car show took place in Pikeville as Kentucky police officers begin to raise money for the Cops and Kids Christmas program.